happening mostly is the brand of ISIS is as powerful as the brand of Osama bin Laden. The ISIS battle is not going to be a quick battle. It takes years.
John Alterman, Senior Vice President for Strategic and International Studies on NBC's Meet the Press yesterday, talking about the growth of ISIS, comparing it to the growth of al-Qaeda under Osama bin Laden. September marks the one-year anniversary of the declared war against the Islamic State, but reports indicate that it's not going as planned. For more on this story, we're pleased to be joined by Middle Eastern expert Michael Pregent, also a former advisor to the Iraqi security forces, now executive director of the group Veterans Against the Deal. And alongside is retired Staff Sergeant Robert Bartlett. Gentlemen, we thank you both for your time here on Newsmax Prime. And Michael, we're going to get to the Iranian deal in just a few minutes, but first, as indicated, reports are showing little success against ISIS. U.S. officials say the terror group's international branches are, quote, growing like crazy, spreading into North and West Africa, Arabia, Afghanistan, all the way to the Far East, not to mention what's going on here in this country. Are you surprised by that assessment?
Thanks for having us. I'm not surprised. I'm actually quite disappointed. Over the last year and a half almost, we've said we're going to help build a force to retake Mosul. We haven't done that. Then Ramadi fell. Now we're talking about building a force to retake Ramadi. We haven't done that either. The more success ISIS has by being able to maintain territory in Syria and Iraq because they're unopposed, the more likely they are going to be able to establish these satellite ISIS groups, these disparate Sunni jihadist groups that are joining the brand because it hasn't been impacted in Iraq and Syria.
And so while that is going on abroad, here in our backyard or really in our nation's capital, consideration of that proposed agreement with Iran. Your organization, Veterans Against the Deal, hosting a major event, really giving emphasis to the opposition to this agreement. Robert, you were severely injured by an Iranian bomb while serving in Iraq in 2005. Given what you went through, why should America scuttle this deal with Iran?
Aren't the scars on my face enough? There are enough dead Americans already. Why would you reward terrorists for terrorist activity? It doesn't make any sense to give them $150 billion to kill more Americans.
Robert, when you first heard about this deal, and the fact that Washington would give it serious consideration, you talk about what you went through, but what was your gut reaction when all this came about?
Politicians let us down. Let the American public down, but most of all, they let down the veterans who fought for this country and died for this country. There's a...
Michael, let me turn to
Vietnam.
We can understand, and certainly we appreciate your service and your sacrifice. And because of it, we need to talk about the upcoming event. Michael, can you share with us the specifics of what you have planned? Where will it be held, and how might people participate?
Well, we've been offered the opportunity to speak at the rally next week in Washington, D.C., the one that both Trump and Senator Cruz will be speaking at. That should give us an audience. We have a very fact-based brief here, focused on the non-nuclear concessions in the Iran deal. The general, the terrorist general that did this to Robert and has the blood of 500 Americans on his hands and is responsible for the maiming of thousands, somehow found his way on the Iran deal. His name is Qasem Soleimani. The general who put down the Green Revolution in 2009, who has the blood of Iranians on his hands, somehow found his way on the Iran deal. He was also delisted. We don't understand why so many non-nuclear concessions were made. We believe this deal gets Iran to the bomb in 15 years if they don't cheat, gives us advanced weapons in 5 years if they don't cheat, and gives it a missile program in 8 years if it doesn't cheat. The problem is Russia and China are already helping Iran cheat and violate sanctions. So we want people to know that this deal is already being violated by two signatories in the deal. And we have a fact-based brief. We have Robert's testimony. We have other veterans on this in this organization, Veterans Against the Deal. And we want to give Democrats a principled no vote. So veterans out there, show up to these rallies and just go to our website. There'll be a fact sheet there with what this Iran deal actually entails. And it's a very simple argument. supporters of this deal make very complex arguments to support it. They say things like Iran could, Iran may, Iran might. This organization has veterans going back 36 years that say Iran is, Iran has, and Iran will. We have facts. We simply want people to hear those facts. And the more they do, the more doubt they have. We've secured meetings with Senator Manchin, Senator Cardin, and Senator Bennett to talk about this. And each of their staffers have said, we did not know that those concessions were made. And they're actually very surprised by it.
Well, part of it is educating those politicians who you gentlemen say have let you down. Listen, we appreciate your insights. We appreciate quite literally your sacrifice, and we hope to speak with you again following that big event in Washington. There's more ahead here on Newsmax Prime.